Getting ready for hot lap session number 1 for the IMCA RaceSaver Sprints. We're gonna go green now.
Driver's gonna speed it up, green, green, green. Yellow, yellow, stay low in 1 and 2, stay low in 1 and 2.
And we're gonna go green again in hot lap session number 2.
Yellow, 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 stay low in 2, stay low in 2. Model Sportsman drivers, just need a hand wave when you come past the flag stand that you can hear me. Yellow, stay low in 1 and 2, stay low in 1 and 2. Good, bring it to the pits, guys, bring it to the pits.
also the defending champion of the Flash by the Creek, as it's renamed, was Kyle Lee. He picked up that victory just 1 year ago. Of course, a couple of weekends ago, Kyle Hardy successfully defended his title as he came away. A little bit of debris coming off the 92 of Frankie Gordon as he comes out onto the racetrack right now. Getting set for the late model sportsman time trials, and 3 very good cars right off the bat. Gordon in the 92 at Mercersburg, Pennsylvania. First driver out, but the caution will stay out.
Yellow. It's got debris on the
track. Looked like a piece of debris that came off the Gordon car actually as he exited off in the infield area. So we will keep them. 28Z of Ryan Zook in Mifflintown, Pennsylvania will also be out for this session, as well as the 19 of Danny Atherton from Three Springs, PA. So safety worker quickly grabbing that small piece of debris, and in just a moment our first 3 of 24 drivers will go under the clock for their 2-lap time trial here this afternoon. All right, green flag is out for our first trio of drivers in late model sportsman action. The 92 one-time winner, Frankie Gordon of Mercersburg, Pennsylvania, bringing it back to the stripe. Lap number 1 coming up for Gordon will be a 20.840. 28Z of Zook close to the top, 20.202. And 19 of Danny Atherton, he will be at 21.004 here on lap number 1. Second and final lap as the drivers make their way off at turn number 4. Tricky track right now, starting earlier in the day. Shade in turn 3 and 4. 21.134. Second lap time for Frankie Gordon. 20.246. Going up on the 28Z of Ryan Zook. He'll stay tops on the board. 21.122 will be the lap time for the 19 of Danny Atherton, which will have him in the number 3 spot. Zook looking to see if he can pick up a win between he, Shoemaker, and Bonebreak, the top 3 in the late model sportsman points. None were able to find their way to victory lane, not due to lack of effort. They've had a very good season here. Speaking of a driver that did very well at Port Royal Speedway, the 33 of Trent Brenneman, the champion of 2024, making his way onto the track. He'll be joined by the V2 of Brian Booz at Greencastle, Pennsylvania, 2-time crate late model winner here at Hagerstown, and the 21 of Jacob Piper out of Mercersburg, Pennsylvania. Brenneman visiting the Hagerstown Speedway on occasion last year, picked up a late model sportsman win. He was one of 9 winners in 2023. He looks to see if he can top Zook. Coming back to the stripe, going to be a 20.793 on lap number 1. That will put him in second. The V2 of Brian Booz, he will be a 21.028. And Piper in the 21, lap number 1 for him, puts him runner-up right now at 20.721. Brenneman currently 3rd on the board, working his way back to the stripe. His final lap going to be a 20.681, which for the moment puts him back up into second. The V2 of Brian Booz back to the stripe. He'll be at 20.967. That will have him 5th on the board right now. And the final lap of the 21 of Jacob Piper, 21.019 will be the time that time by. So Zook, Brenneman, and Piper, they'll be the top 3 right now with the 92 of Frankie Gordon, Brian Booz, and Danny Atherton. Right now the 6 drivers in that order that have taken time. Car number 5, Brad Thompson of Winchester, Virginia, will be one of the drivers out next, along with the 44X of Ralph Morgan Jr. in Mount Union, Pennsylvania. And joining this trio, the 86 of Scott Palmer out of Greencastle, PA. Brilliant sunshine just bathing down on the Hagerstown Speedway surface right now as the drivers make their way off at turn number 4. And again, the 5 of Brad Ums will lead him back in this trio of drivers. His first lap time, 21.418 seconds. Morgan in the 44X, lap number 1 for him as he comes back, 20.902. And that will put the 44 in 5th. Palmer in the 86, always a good qualifier and runner. Right now, Palmer some work to do, 21.133 on lap number 1. Second and final lap for Brad Ums, 21.256. And for the moment, that will have him 9th on the board. Morgan will be at 21.227. For the moment, that will have him 5th. And the 86 is Scott Palmer making his way back to the stripe And Palmer will be number 8 on the board, 21.419. There on lap number 2. So again, still Ryan Zook, Trent Brenneman, and the 21 of Jacob Piper. They are the top 3 in late model sportsman time so far. Next group out going to be the 76 of Mason Strait out of St. Thomas, Pennsylvania. Also the 88 Barry Miller at Free Springs, PA. Very fastest in late model sportsman warm-ups earlier. And joining them, the 16B of Justin Gilman out of Charlestown, West Virginia. Barry Miller in the 88 right now has moved up to second on the board. And he's going to come forward this afternoon. Back to this right, he's going to be the 76. Second flag out for that driver. He's going to be 1.118 outside the top. Miller back to this right, 1.740. That will be second. Gilman, the 16B, will wind up in the number 9 spot, 21.020 for Justin Gilman. Check, 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 check. All right, next 3 drivers on track. Going to be the 44S. That'll be Kerry Stuhler out of Greencastle, Pennsylvania. 99 of Cody Lear out of Manchester, Maryland. And the 25, Jonathan Rayleigh out of Hollywood, Maryland. Right now, everybody's still chasing the 28Z of Ryan Zook. As Zook works it off, or I should say Stuhler works it off at turn number 4. All right, Stuhler back to the stripe. His lap's going to be a 21.31 or 331 that time by. 99 of Cody Lear at 21.853. And the 25 of Jonathan Rayleigh, he will wrap up with a 22.211 in our latest group of late model sportsman time trials. So again, still Ryan Zook at top of the board. 88 of Barry Miller, 33 of Brenneman, 21 of Piper, 92 of Gordon, and Stuhler in the 44, right now number 6 on the board. 000, Pat McNeil out of Essex, Maryland. He'll be up next. UMP Modifieds for your time trials. You can make your way to the staging area. UMP Modified drivers for your time trials to the staging area, please. Mentioned McNeil, he's out. The 27 of Lee Ziegler out of Huntington, Pennsylvania, also out in this 2-lap session. And their point leader, the 44, your champion this year, Sean Shoemaker, out of Mount Union, Pennsylvania. Essex in the 000, back to the stripe, 21.023. And that will put him number 10 on the board right now. 27 is Ziegler. He'll be back to the striper at 21.468. And the 44 of Shoemaker looking to see if he can get up on the board. And right now, Shoemaker going to be at 20.868. He's right up there by the 44 Stuhler. Back to the stripe for Essex, 21.804, just outside the top 10. 27 of Ziegler wraps up with a 21.348. And the 44 is Shoemaker back to the stripe. And he will be at 20.537. That will be number 2. So the cream rising to the top as far as our points leaders. Number 2 man in the points this year. He is currently number 1. The number 1 man, the champion, Sean Shoemaker, currently 2nd. Barry Miller, Trent Brenneman, and Jacob Piper. They are the top 5. Again, UMP Modifieds for your time trials to the staging area. UMP Mods for your time trials to the staging area, please. All right, on track now, the 81C Eddie Cornett out of Hagerstown. Also joining him, two-time winner DJ Myers in the 70J out of Greencastle, Pennsylvania. The number 3 man in points this year. The 37F, Wesley Bonebrake out of Hagerstown. Also grabbing the green flag. As we get down to the final half dozen drivers in late model sportsman time trials, UMP Mods will be up for their time trial session here in a few moments. Myers back to the stripe. 21.072 as DJ trying to find a little bit more speed. Bonebrake back to the stripe in that car. It's going to be a 22.082. Cornett, the 81C, off at turn number 4. He'll get the checkered flag. We missed that on lap number 1 for him as he comes back. Cornett will be a 22.383. 70J of Myers will wind up with a 21.248 in the final lap for Bonebrake as he brings the 37 back to the stripe, 21.389. So with just a handful of drivers left to go in late model sportsman action, Ryan Zook still trying to hold on to the number 1 spot. Again, the top 4 drivers will transfer into the A feature, and of course they'll have a dash race coming up a little bit later on this afternoon. All right, final 3 drivers set to go. The 01, Matt Glendon out of Denton, Maryland, heading down the back straightaway. The 08 of Zach Kaufman at the York Haven, Pennsylvania. And the 28 of Gerald Davis out of Augusta, West Virginia. All right, white flag out. Our final 3 drivers in late model sportsman action. Glendon back to the stripe. Good laps in his warm-ups. And he gets a 21.234 there on lap number 1. First lap for the 08 is Zach Kaufman, 21.141. And the 28D of Gerald Davis, 21.145. Those drivers trying to find the top 10 right now as they work back to the stripe for the checker. Final lap for Glendon, 21.312. And the 08 of Zach Kaufman follows behind. He is going to be up into the number 6 spot, 20.838. Good second lap. And the 28D of Gerald Davis also moving up on the board, 20.202. That will put Davis up into 8th. So good second laps for both Kaufman and Davis, but it's going to be the 28Z of Ryan Zook, top qualifier this afternoon in the Clash by the Creek, the 44 Maryland, the first one scheduled to go. Also set to go in this group, the 55 of Alyssa Rowell from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, and the 35M of Carter Miller out of Salem, Virginia. All right, single car qualifying coming up for the UMP Mods as the 55 of Alyssa Rowell makes her way onto the track. 1 lap will be the distance for the Modifieds as Holzen will set the bar at 22.352 seconds there on lap number 1, the one and only lap the Mods will get for their qualifying session. .55 Alyssa Rowell to Chambersburg, Pennsylvania with us as she works it through turn number 1 and 2 in her 1-lap session. Coming up in a few moments, we'll have the opening ceremonies, have a chance to chat with Gilbert Hess down trackside, and your Invocation and Anthem and heat set for the IMCA RaceSaver Sprints and some busy heat race action coming up tonight. 55 Rowell, 23.039 will be her lap time. That will put her number 2 on the board as a 35M of Carter Miller out of Salem, Virginia, next out for his 1-lap time. .58 of Mike Altabelli out of Saxton, Pennsylvania, also heads out onto the Speedway to get set. As a 35 of Miller back to the stripe, 22.283. That will put him number 1 on the board in UMP time trials right now. 58 of Altabelli working off a turn number 2. The 90 of Ray Cable out of Sykesville, Maryland, also making his way out. Cable looking for that first victory. Strong performance last time out here at Hagerstown. And he will look what he can do here in time trials. Altobelli, another strong UMP Mod driver, back to the stripe. His lap, 21.922. That will put him tops on the board as Cable gets the green flag in the 90 machine. Midpoint down the back straightaway. Cable trying to gather it up as the 35, and David Stremme out of Mifflintown, Pennsylvania also makes his way out. Cable back to the stripe of the 90 machine, 21.787. He'll be the new top qualifier here this evening as Stremme gets the green flag and heads it off into turn number 1 and 2. Our 6th of at least 10 drivers, if not more, in UMP Mod action here this evening at Hagerstown. 55C, one-time feature winner Cody Oliver out of Severn, Maryland, also making his way out onto the track for his qualifying session as Stremme brings it back off at turn number 4. And his lap time, 22.582, as Oliver gets his green flag for his one-lap run. IMCA RaceSaver Sprints, heat race number 1. Drivers, you can start making your way to the staging area. IMCA RaceSaver Sprints, heat race number 1. You can make your way to the staging area. Back to the stripe, going to be the 55C, Cody Oliver. His lap time, 22.966. As the 44 of Frank DeBella from Mount Airy, Maryland, now getting the green flag for his one-lap run. Again, the RaceSaver Sprint cars will be back out on the track in a few moments. They won't run the time trials. They'll run heat races. And they've got plenty of them. 8 laps will be their distance. Heat race number 1 for the RaceSaver Sprints. You can make your way to the staging area. 44 of Frank DeBella, meanwhile, back to the stripe, taking the checkered flag. 23.507 will be his lap time. As the 58W, Bo Akey out of Everett, Pennsylvania, next on track. Right now, Cable in the 90, then the 58. Mike Altobelli, they are the top 2 in our UMP Mod time trial so far. W Bo Akey back to the stripe, going to be a 22.086.
Could I ask you all to bow your heads, please? Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you today just to thank you, first of all, for the sacrifice you made on the cross for our sins, dear Jesus. But tonight, you know, it tells us in the Bible, where 2 or more are present, you are with us. And I believe you're here in this house today with us, and everyone that's passed on, our friends and family that used to share these moments at this track are here by our side tonight. But Father, I ask you to keep everyone in this track safe tonight. You know, the drivers, the pit crews, the spectators, and each and every person that's involved. You know, Father, and just surround this place with our child angels that we've lost to cancer. You know, and just fill this place up with love tonight. And Father, we just thank you so much for all you do for us each and every day. And you know, we can't say enough. You know, and if you haven't given your life to Jesus Christ, please just call on him today. And I tell you what, I lost my wife, and you know, I thought everything was lost, and you know, God fixed everything in my life, and you know, and he just brought a beautiful woman into my life that I love so much, and you know, she's a godly woman. I get to go to church with her and her daughter and her granddaughter, and it's just been a special time. And you know, so if you're out there today and you need some help to pray, come on by the trailer tonight or anything like that. But just thank you Jesus, for all that you do for us each and every day, and you know, we love you, and amen.
And now our national anthem. right, Gilbert Hess, thank you so very much. Folks, give it up for Gilbert Hess and all his charitable work that he's done. The money's raised for very good causes. As we get set to go on our heat race action tonight, it looks like our first group of IMCA RaceSaver Sprints are about set to do battle. So with that, we'll take it topside to the voice of the 305 Sprint, Stephanie Dotson.
Thank you. 10 drivers in tonight's main event will go home with extra cash. So Drew Young, Colton Moyer, row number 1, Tim Yule, Mike Allman, row number 2, Kenny Hefner, Dave Graber, row 3, Dylan Schatzer, Austin Reed, row 4, Landon Tressler, bring up the tail. This is heat race number 1, side by side to the middle, turns 3 and 4. We're going green in heat race number 1. Slow start here in heat race number 1. The 7 of Drew Young leads them into the turn. Here comes on the outside the 19 of Tim Yule, driver with the Mid-Atlantic Sprint Series. He almost tried to make it 3 wide. Actually, 34 of Austin Reed and the 75 of Dylan Schatzer did make it 3 wide, with the 97 of Kenny Hefner being the inside of that sandwich. Here comes the 19 of Tim Yule again. He's going to try, not quite yet, but on the move, the 75 of Dylan Schatzer. Dylan started in that 7th position. Dylan's already up into 4th on lap number 1. Now make that 3rd as he goes around the 19 of Tim Yule. Dylan Schatzer on the move from 7th up to 3rd. Leading, meanwhile, in heat race number 1 is the 7 of Drew Young, driver out of Beaver Springs. Battle for 2nd between the 75 of Schatzer and the 14 of Colton Moyer. Now Dylan Schatzer takes 2nd away. Again, 7th up to 2nd here on lap number 2. We'll see if Schatzer has anything for your leader, the 7 of Drew Young. Mike Allman, car number 46, getting sideways in turns 1 and 2. He spins.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And caution on the speedway here at lap number 3. He's battling for that 4th position. Had to whoa up just a little too much in turns 1 and 2. Got sideways and ended up spinning there. But he's able to rejoin the field. 3 laps down, 5 laps to go. Single file. Green flag back out. Strong start for the 7 of Drew Young. Comes a 19 of Tim Yule. He tries to pick up 2 cars. Meanwhile, he picks up the 14 of Colton Moyer. Tim Yule now into 3rd. Colton Moyer 4th, coming in strong in turns 3 and 4. We are halfway through heat race number 1. 4 laps down, 4 laps to go. 75 of Dylan Schatzer getting a run off of turn number 2. Looks like the 7 of Drew Young got into the loose stuff coming off the turn. Not able to keep the tires underneath them. Here comes the 75 of Schatzer, nice and straight off the turn. Schatzer closing in. Less than half a second, but he lost some momentum there. Meanwhile, the 34 of Austin Reed tries to set up the 14 of Colton Moyer. Battle for 4th shaping up between the 14 and the 34. 2 laps to go, 2 laps to go in heat race number 1. Drew Young steady out front again. Extended his lead back to over a second over the 75 of Dylan Schatzer. Tim Yule in that 3rd and final transfer spot. 14 of Colton Moyer, Austin Reed round out your top 5. White flag is out on the speedway. The 46 of Mike Allman picks up a spot over the 51 of Dave Graber. Mike Allman gaining 2 positions after restarting in the rear. We are on the final lap. Your leaders going through turns 3 and 4. Drew Young, who had a tough race last weekend at Path Valley, now picking up the victory here at Hagerstown in heat race number 1. And Owen Dim, row 4. Again, 8 laps is the distance. 3 transfer to the A main, the rest to the B main. Looks like we're ready to go off of turn number 4. Robbie Barchi leads them down the front stretch. 98 of Croy Bazem slips underneath the 36 of Mike Malaire. Meanwhile, the 461 of Colton Hendershot underneath the 26 of Ryan Lynn. Battle for the lead off of turn number 4. Robbie Barchi. Robbie Barchi maintains the lead here on lap number 1. Robbie Barchi slides up the track. 461 of Colton Hendershot again gets that run off of turn number 2. Battle for the lead again between Barchi and the 461 of Colton Hendershot. Meanwhile, the 36 of Mike Malaire trying to hang on to 4th. The 8 of DJ Kassler trying to make a move on the outside, but right now the 98 of Croy Bazem in the 3rd and final transfer spot. Robbie Barchi leads over the 461 of Colton Hendershot, the 98 of Croy Bazem, and 36 of Mike Malaire now closing in on the 98 of Bazem. A majestic scene here at Hagerstown Speedway. 2 bald eagles flying on top of the speedway here, so what a cool view as we're here under heat race number 2. We're going to come to the cross flags this time by. 4 laps down, 4 laps to go. '17 of Owen Dim picks up a spot. He's now into 4th. Owen started in the 9th position. Now he's battling for 3rd off of turn number 2. So Owen Dim racing his way into a transfer spot after starting last. Just three laps to go. Robbie Barchi continues to lead over the 461 of Colton Hendershot and now the 17 of Owen Dim. Robbie Barchi extending his lead to over a second to the 461 of Colton Hendershot. Owen Dim now in car number 17, distancing himself from the rest of the field. The 36 of Mike Malaire back into 4th. Coming for the white flag now in heat race number 2. Your leaders coming around turn number 4 for the final time, picking up the victory in heat race number 2. The 29, that's Robbie Barchi, followed by the 461 of Colton Hendershot and the 17 of Owen Dim. Coming to the green, Braden Varner, Allen Rhodes, strong start. 20 of Doug Dodson tries to find something on the top side. We're almost 3 wide going into turn number 1. Dodson on the top side in car number 20 picks up a spot. Meanwhile, the 5 of Braden Varner out to the early lead. Braden Varner over the 20 of Doug Dodson, the 5 of Allen Rhodes. Your top 3 so far. Dodson goes to the outside in car number 20. He will take the lead here on lap number 1. Braden Varner tries to battle back. We'll see if he's got anything for Dodson as Dodson slides up the speedway. 20 of Dodson leads over the 5 of Braden Varner and the 15 of Allen Rhodes. Meanwhile, the 16 of Jeff Paulson already picking up 2 spots in heat race number 3. Again, he started in last, driver out of Honeybrook. He's now picked up 2 positions. 20 of Doug Dodson leads over the 5 of Braden Varner. Now the R6 of Reed Thompson trying to get by the 15 of Allen Rhodes. That's for the 3rd and final transfer spot as they battle into turn number 3. Reed Thompson takes that spot away and looks like he does secure 3rd here off of turn number 4. Dodson extending his lead over the 5 of Braden Varner. The R6 of Reed Thompson. 44 John Brame closing in on the 15 of Allen Rhodes. Picking up the victory, the 20 of Doug Dodson in heat race number 3 over the 5 of Braden Varner. And the R6 of Reed Thompson in 3rd. Strong start for the 2 of Aaron Statler off of turn number 4 here in heat race number 4. DJ Tanner in car number 19 around in turns 1 and 2. Also spinning around the 21M of Hunter McFadden. Aaron Statler again leads into turn number 1. The 5 of Logan Spar sitting sideways in between turns 1 and 2 this time.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. Stay high and 2. Stay high and 2.
Hopefully 3rd time's a charm here in heat race number 3. The 2 of Aaron Statler leads, but now the 61 of Johnny Scarborough getting a run off of turn number 2. Looks to the inside of her. Meanwhile, she maintains that spot. We'll see for the time being. And we have a lap in the books here in heat race number 4. Aaron Statler, Johnny Scarborough, and Dave Grube, your top 3. '61, Johnny Scarborough underneath the 2 of Aaron Statler on the backstretch. We have a pass for the lead here on lap number 2. It looks like the 61 of Scarborough will take that. Aaron Statler in 2nd. She's right on the bumper there. Here comes a 3D of Dave Grube. Laps down, 4 laps to go in heat race number 4. The 3D of Dave Grube now battling with the 2 of Aaron Statler. We're under halfway. So with under 2 laps to go, your leader putting the J2 of John Smith a lap down. Johnny Scarborough will see the white flag this time by. '19 of DJ Tanner pulling pit side. Meanwhile, the 61 of Johnny Scarborough picking up the victory here in heat race number 4. Behind him, the 3D of Dave Grube from his 7th starting spot, and the 2 of Aaron Statler. Timmy Bittner, Shelby Kelly. Black and neon green cars, your front row. We're going green in heat race number 5. Timmy Bittner leads into turn number 1. The 51K of Shelby Kelby making contact. Able to save it. Almost found herself in the wall. So caution on the speedway. So the 01 of Timmy Bittner leads over the 22K of Mike Kohler. Turned out to be a beautiful evening for racing here in Hagerstown, Maryland. Lights are out on the speedway. We're gonna go green this time. Timmy Bittner, Mike Kohler, row number 1. Matt McAlleney alongside the 99 of AJ Barton. Cruz Kepner, Jarrett Cavallette, and Paul Moyer, Cody Hoover. Timmy Bittner leads while the battle was shaping up for the 3rd spot, but now Cavallette getting mixed up a bit off of turn number 2. 21C of Jarrett Cavallette had been applying some pressure to the 99 of AJ Barton.
Yellow, yellow, stay low and 2, stay low and 2, low and
2. 6 laps to go. We're gonna single file restart here. Timmy Bittner over Mike Kohler, AJ Barton, your top 3 qualifiers in the transfer spot so far. We'll see if Jarrett Cavallette or Matt McAlleney has anything for them. We go single file to the flag stand. 99 of AJ Barton getting a bad push on that restart, so the 21C of Jarrett Cavallette able to take over that spot. Jarrett Cavallette now into the 3rd and final transfer spot. 99 of AJ Barton getting the wheels back underneath him. .21C of Jarrett Cavallette putting heavy pressure on the 22 of Mike Kohler. Meanwhile, the 01 of Timmy Bittner leads by 0.6 of a second over the 22K of Mike Kohler. 19 of Cruz Kepner has picked up some spots. He's currently running in 5th, trying to chase down the 99 of AJ Barton. We're under 4 laps to go here. Two laps to go, and the 01 of Timmy Bittner has extended his lead to 2 seconds over the 22K of Mike Kohler. Jarrett Cavallette in 21C follows behind in 3rd. White flag lap here. Your leaders coming through turn number 4 to pick up the victory in heat race number 5, the 01 of Timmy Bittner. In 2nd, the 22K of Mike Kohler. In 3rd, the 21C of Jarrett Cavallette. Two-year racing career at Winchester earlier this season. So it looks like Robert Felix in car number 21, scheduled to start third, a scratch. We're gonna go green this time. Dustin Young, Zach Rhodes, Ken Duke Jr., Nick Swigert, Chris Humblett, Ian Cummins, and Casey Weaver. Zach Rhodes getting a strong start on the outside. He takes charge going into turn number 1. 3 wide between the 67 of Ken Duke Jr., the 89 of Nick Swigert, and the 79 of Ian Cummins. Ian started towards the tail of the field in that 6th position, currently battling for 3rd. That's for the 3rd and final transfer spot. Those drivers trying to secure that position early on in this heat race. Again, Zach Rhodes accumulating wins at other speedways as he's been traveling a lot this year. 67 to Ken Duke Jr. took that spot away, but caution on the speedway for one of the Weaver drivers up in turns 1 and 2. That's Casey Weaver, driver out of Everett, bringing out the caution. 67 of Ken Duke Jr. looks inside. The 79 of Ian Cummins takes that 3rd and final transfer spot away on the restart. Meanwhile, the 31Z of Zach Rhodes, he's gone. It's 25 of Dustin Young in 2nd. Now the 67 of Ken Duke Jr. sets his sights on the 25. Zach Rhodes leads by 1.5 seconds over the 25 of Dustin Young. Then the 67 of Ken Duke Jr. in 3rd. Ian Cummins, Nick Swigert round out your top 5. Cars seem to be equally spaced in this one, settling into their respective positions. 2 laps to go in the final heat race for the IMCA RaceSaver Sprints tonight. Your leader having recently picked up wins at Winchester, Clinton County, Freedom Motorsports Park. That doesn't include his 6 wins with the Pennsylvania Sprint Series. He's just 1 more lap to solidify his win in our 6th heat race tonight. Coming for the checkered is the 31Z of Zach Rhodes, followed by the 25 of Dustin Young, the 67 of Ken Duke Jr. So again, picking up the win by 1 3/4 seconds, the 31Z of Zach Rhodes over the 25 of Dustin Young.
All-time leading late model feature winner here at Hagerstown Speedway, Gary Stuhler out of Greencastle, Pennsylvania. The 99 of Cody Lear out of Manchester, Maryland. And the 27 of Lee Ziegler out of Huntington, Pennsylvania will be back in row 3 with the 76 of Mason Street out of St. Thomas, Pennsylvania, rounding out the order in qualifier number 1. Field headed off into turn number 1 and 2 quickly. Going to be Piper grabbing that lead. No stranger to victories in heat race action. Davis goes into 2nd. Going to be the 99 of Lear for the moment in 3rd. Atherton holding on to 4th as they come back for the first of 8 circuits here tonight. Late Model Sportsman, heat race number 2. You can make your way to the staging area. Seeger in that 27 way high, and turn number 2 drifting down the back straightaway, limping down to the bottom side. We'll see if he can make it off into the back pits As we put 2 laps on the board here early, Piper in control right now. Davis some 10 car lengths back in second. Another 3 back to Cody Lear in third. Atherton and Stuhler have their own private battle. They are in the clutches of each other for the number 4 spot.
Yellow, stay high on the back
And
stretch.
caution out, 27
stretch.
to Ziegler didn't quite make it into the back pit area. Yellow is out with 2 laps complete. It's up on the front row. Lear and Atherton back in row 2. Stuhler and Atherton had a good battle back there for 4th early. We'll see if that reconvenes here in a moment. 2 laps down in our first 8-lap qualifier. Again, late model sportsman, heat race number 2. You can make your way to the staging area. Green back out here in the early stages of our first late model sportsman qualifier of the night. Piper again reassumes that number 1 position. Davis right on the rear deck lid. Slides up the banking. That'll open the door for Cody Lear to go to the bottom side and up into second.
Yellow.
Davis fighting hard, but
low
caution again. This time again for the 27 to Ziegler. And that will be it for the qualifier for Ziegler. 2 times in the heat races, and that will nullify your chances to continue.
All right, drivers, let's try it again. 21, I need a nice consistent pace coming to the start zone. Little faster than that, little faster than that, little faster than that.
All right, field stacked up again in turn 3 and 4 as we get set for another green. Field double wide off of 4, single file by the time they get into turn number 1 and 2. But again, Cody Lear had the opportunity to get around Gerald Davis, but the caution came out. Now he slips up, and Atherton puts the 19 up into third. It'll be Piper by a few car lengths as they come back for lap number 3 on our first qualifier tonight. Davis will be second, Atherton third. Lear now trying to fend off the efforts of Gary Stuhler down to the inside, down in turn number 1. 76 of Mason Straight holding on for dear life back behind him in that 6th position as Piper leads him back into 3 and 4. Halfway will go on the board this time by in our first qualifier. So the Sprints have a dash, right? Yeah. Features have a dash. Modifieds have a dash. All right, field back to the stripe as we begin the second half of our 8-lapper. All Jacob Piper so far in the 21. Gerald Davis fending off the efforts of the drivers behind. He's comfortably in second. Atherton holding on to third. Lear in fourth. And Gary Stuhler the top 5. Again, all drivers will transfer into tonight's main event. 25 laps to make it 30 will be the distance. 2,500 to win. Possibly 3,500 if it's Ryan Zook and he plays his cards right. 2 to go this time by. Now Stuhler is still battling with Cody Lear further back. That's the only battle right now as the white flag comes out. 7 down in our first 8-lap contest. Gerald Davis and Danny Atherton comfortably in their positions. Stuhler on the outside. Cody Lear will still win that battle and hold on to 4th. They are closing up on the 19 of Atherton as everybody trying to figure out this track tonight. It has been a variety of different weather systems. It's actually a lot of sun, a lot of wind, and all of a sudden cloudy weather. It didn't affect Jacob Piper. The 21 coming away with the victory. Side-by-side battle back to the line for that number 5 spot. Going to be Piper the winner, Davis in second, Atherton third. Cody Lear will be in the number 4 spot. Gary Stuhler will round out the top 5. Couple of winners of the 2024 season with us tonight. Of course, we mentioned the 70J of G.J. Myers. He, along with Kyle Lear, the only 2-time winners this year in late model sportsman action. Frankie Gordon, that at 92, he'll be in the 3rd and final qualifier. He was the last late model sportsman winner here at the Hagerstown Speedway. So they will look to see if they can etch their names in the Clash by the Creek books as we get set for late model sportsman qualifier number 2. Coppin from that pole position, grabbing the early lead. Morgan from the outside of row 1. He'll go into second. Myers to the high side of Gilman. They'll be side by side for third as Looks like the 70J of Myers almost thought about trying to squeeze right up through the middle. He'll get around Dillman. And another power move behind him. Going to be the 01 of Glendon. Trying to get to the inside of Wesley Bonebreak. Myers was high side on Dillman. Now he works to the bottom side. Ralph Morgan Jr. down the back straightaway. They fall single file with Kaufman up by 3 car lengths with 2 laps complete this time by. Bonebreak winning the battle with Glendon moments ago. That'll put him up into 5th. A very tight top 3 as Kaufman's lead is dissipated. Now he steps on the gas, opens up about a 3-car length advantage. Myers, meanwhile, to the inside of Morgan for the runner-up spot as they come back for the 3rd circuit. Dillman back and forth. Bonebreak in the number 5 spot. He's challenged Team Glendon back and forth. And give it to Glendon in the 01 back in that number 5 spot. Meanwhile, Myers and Morgan continue their battle with Morgan winning the I-side advantage down the back chute. Halfway will go on the board in a moment. Kaufman to the 08. He's had the lead. Hasn't been able to get away from anybody. That battle behind him has stayed pretty well within striking distance. But he is the leader. Morgan now in 2nd spot. He'll take the high line. Going to be Myers down bottom. Dillman in 4th and Glendon the top 5 as everybody goes single file here in the second half of tonight's 2nd qualifier. Still single file, evenly spaced out between the front 6 machines, about a couple of car lengths to 3 between them all as Kaufman works right down to the bottom side. He'll come back for the 2-lap to go indication. Morgan winning that battle with Myers, and now it's been able to edge away just a little bit. And still within about 3 car lengths of trying to catch Kaufman as they work down the backstretch. 3rd and final late model sportsman qualifier coming up in a few moments. And the checkered flag about set to come out in a few moments. White flag out this time by. Meanwhile, for Zach Kaufman, as Dillman now works to the inside of DJ Myers, and that will be the battle for 3rd. As Myers 70J now begins to fade. Glendon also looks for a spot. Myers gives up another one off of turn 2. And Kaufman, meanwhile, in control off of turn 3 and 4. Zach Kaufman from the pole, taking the 2nd late model sportsman qualifier. Ralph Morgan Jr. will be 2nd. Justin Dillman, Matt Glendon, and DJ Myers. They'll be the top 5. Qualifier number 3, getting the green flag here in late model sportsman action tonight at Hagerstown. Going to be Frankie Gordon grabbing that lead. That car, Gordon has won a race in it, but it's already got 2 victories. Justin Weaver, a former champion of the Hub City Nationals, has also got a few of them, and he picked up a win earlier this year in that 92 machine. Gordon, not too many weeks later, came back and scored the victory. Booz will be 2nd at the stripe on lap number 1. 86 of Scott Palmer back there in 3rd. Going to be Brad Omps and Jonathan Braley right now the early top 5. Again, UMP Modifieds. Your heat race will be next. UMP Modifieds to the staging area, please. Single file as it continues to be Frankie Gordon holding court up top. About 5 car lengths over Booz. Another 10 back to Scott Palmer. 10 more back to Umps with Jonathan Riley not far behind. Then the 000 of Pat McNeil. Leaders come back for lap 3. Really closing on Omps in that ongoing battle for the number 4 position right now. Still about a car length or 2 back behind him. And Brian Booz still within striking distance of Frankie Gordon as they come back for lap number 5. So Gordon going to be looking at 2 laps to go this time by. Boo's about 3 car lengths back. Palmer by his lonesome in third with 2 to go. White flag in the air this time by. As Frankie Gordon works it back into turn number 1 and 2. Boo's right in his tire tracks a few car lengths back. Palmer, Omps, and Rayleigh, they remain the top 5. Checkered set to come out this time. And Frankie Gordon getting that car dialed in since Weaver won. And the 92 back in the number 1 spot. Brian Booz takes second. Scott Palmer will wind up third with Brad Omps and Jonathan Rayleigh the top 5. Staging area. Dash drivers for late model sportsmen. You can make your way to the staging area. Six laps will be the distance in tonight's final UMP Mod qualifying event as they get set off at turn number 4. Olsen in the 18. Pair of 55 side by side. Cody Oliver to the inside of Alyssa Rao as Olsen grabs that lead off of 1 and 2. And Rao gets around off of turn number 2. Like a little contact also with the car behind her. I'm pissed on it. All right, once again, folks, this is a time dash. 4 laps will be the distance, and the green will fall on the 28Z of Ryan Zook, who's midpoint down the back straightaway right now. Again, UMP Mods for your dash. You can make your way to the staging area. UMP Modifieds for your dash to the staging area, please. What you need? All right, green is out for our drivers as they begin to put laps on the board right now and see who can start up front in tonight's 25 lap, $2,500, 30 laps, should say $2,500 to win event. Zook coming back to the stripe, 20.387. Right now he's tops on the board. Let's see what happens. Barry Miller quickly behind him, puts himself number 1 in the 88 machine. Sean Shoemaker back and forth, going to be the 21 of Piper just ahead of him in third, as we'll keep our eyes on the 28Z of Ryan Zook and see if he can do it. But right now he's dropped down to third on the board right now. As we mentioned, if he can't do it in this dash race, we'll look at the 8th place starter in tonight's 30 lap feature. And if that 8th place starter can win the event, that $1,000 would go to that driver. So right now it's all Barry Miller in the 88. He holds on to the number 1 spot. Zook back to the stripe, and let's see if that changed. He goes back to number 2. Right now, Miller, 20.092. That is the best time right now. White flag is out in our late model sportsman dash here tonight. Still Zook in second, Frankie Gordon third, Jacob Piper and Trent Brenneman. They are the top 5. Shoemaker back in 6th, and then the 08 of Zach Kaufman in 7th spot. Checkered on the field as they're coming by. Zook and Miller have already taken it, and Barry Miller at 20.092 is going to be the top time in our dash tonight. Ryan Zook couldn't quite get there. He was close, but Miller in the 88 plays the role of spoiler with that 20.092, so that hurts Zook's chances. Green is out, and the first laps are coming in. Looks like the 90 of Cable right now tops on the board in our warm-up session, or should say dash session for these drivers. All right, Mike Altabelli, he's number 2 on the board, followed by the 35M of Carter Miller, and then the 17 of Drake Troutman. Miller works his back to the stripe right now, 4th on the board. He moves up into second, 21.701. As a 90 Cable, the leader right now, takes the white flag. 21.434 that time by. Miller in second spot, going to be Troutman working the 17 up into third. As Cable midpoint down the back straightaway. White flag continues. Miller in the 35M back across the stripe. He'll maintain the number 2 spot. 58 of Altabelli trying to move up as well. 90 of Cable getting that checkered flag. And that was a 21.644. So obviously he's going a little bit quicker prior to that as the track continues to change. As it checkered out on the remaining couple of cars here in UMP Dash action. And looks like the 90 of Ray Cable is going to be our top man in Dash action tonight. The 35, Carter Miller, will wind up in second. 17 of Drake Troutman. Just seconds to go.
Mike Miller, a former winner here at Hagerstown Speedway, that was one of his 3 career wins. Colton Moyer, Mike Miller, row number 1. We're going to go green for 15 laps. 4 wide on the front stretch here as drivers drag race down the front stretch. 36 of Miller on the outside. Here comes a 34 of Austin Reed. Drivers in position 1 and 2 hanging tight with each other. The 14 takes the lead off of turn number 4, but Mike Miller not letting him out of his sights. Here comes a 34 of Austin Reed. Again, Austin in his last IMCA RaceSaver event, battling for second in tonight's B main. That moves a 36 of Mike Miller to third. Austin Reed closing in quickly on the 14 of Colton Moyer down the front stretch. 97 of Kenny Hefner looks to the inside of the 44 of John Brame. Both of those drivers already in qualifying positions. 98 of Croy Bazem, just one spot out of qualifying so far. Check out the 5W of Colby Weaver. He's making his way through turns 3 and 4. He started last and he picked up 6 positions so far. The 5W of Colby Weaver, driver out of Everett, on the move. Colby Weaver now making the pass for 12th. The 8 of DJ Kassler back to the outside of him. Meanwhile, the 14 of Colton Moyer continues to lead over the 34 of Austin Reed. Then the 36 of Mike Miller. '97 of Kenny Hefner and the 44 of John Brame in those qualifying positions. Your leader's coming up on lap traffic off of turn number 4.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Puts the 54 of Matt Mullins a lap down, and caution is out on the speedway as we have a car spun in turns 1 and 2. Then the 07 of Landon Tressler getting collected in that as well. Austin Reed behind him finished 3rd in the Pennsylvania Sprint Series points chase last year. He has 8 wins to his name. He was a winner this year at Clinton County. Single file to the cone on the front stretch, and the green is back out. 98 of Croy Bazem trying to race his way into a feature spot. Not able to make it happen. Austin Greenland looks to the inside of Jeff Paulson trying to pick up a spot. Meanwhile, Austin Reed applying heavy pressure to your leader. Austin Reed looks to the top side coming off of turn 2. Austin Reed's going to try it again in turns 3 and 4. Uses the top side to his advantage, and he will take the lead here at lap number 8. Lead change at lap number 8 of B main number 1. Austin Reed over the 14 of Colton Moyer with that pass on the outside off of turns 3 and 4. We're just 5 laps to go. 5 laps remain as Austin Reed starts to pull away from the 14 of Colton Moyer. Austin Greenland picking up another spot in car number 32A on the backstretch. He stole that one from the 26 of Ryan Lynn. Move Austin Greenland into 7th. He started in the 12th position. 5W of Colby Weaver trying to follow suit. 2 laps to go for your leader this time. Battle between Colby Weaver and Ryan Lynn as Colby Weaver takes that spot away for 8th. Meanwhile, your leader going through turns 3 and 4 He sees lap traffic ahead of him, but only one more lap to go in this B main. Austin Reed picking up the victory in car number 34 in tonight's first B main over car number 14 of Colton Moyer and the 36 of Mike Malaire. All right, we're back in action after replacing the batteries here. Looks like the 28 of Racing Jason Roush, strong lead over the 79 of Ian Cummins. Meanwhile, the 19 of Cruz Kepner trying to race his way into tonight's main event. Battling with the 19 of DJ Tanner right now, who I think just took that spot away from him. DJ Tanner started in the 13th spot, trying to race his way into tonight's main event. J2 of John Smith goes pit side. Meanwhile, your leader, Racing Jason Roush, down the backstretch. 79 of Ian Cummins, about 3/4 of a straightaway behind. 21M of Hunter McFadden putting heavy pressure on the 99 of AJ Barton. That's for the third position. Darren Bollock running 5th, but the 19 of DJ Tanner tracking him down so quickly. DJ, again, having started in that 13th position, he just needs one more spot to transfer into tonight's A main. Keep your eyes on these three cars right here on the front stretch. The 44, Darren Bollock, the 19 of DJ Tanner, and the 19 of Cruz Kepner in the green car on the outside. Here comes a run by the 19 of Tanner. We're just 5 laps to go. 5 laps remain and just one spot. The 19 of Tanner ducks to the inside. The 19 of Kepner goes to the outside. Those two drivers both gaining an extra spot. Now DJ Tanner in the last and final transfer spot. But here comes the 19 of Cruz Kepner again in that tight points battle with the 31Z of Zach Rhodes. He's got to get into tonight's main event. Just 4 laps to go. Our leader's just putting a lap car down a lap on the backstretch, but meanwhile, 19 of Cruz Kepner takes that last and final transfer spot away from the 19 of DJ Tanner. DJ not letting Cruz Kepner out of his sights, but meanwhile, your leader, Jason Roush, entering turn number 3. 79 at Ian Cummins, ducks underneath a lap car coming off of 4. There's just 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go in tonight's last and final qualifying race for the IMCA RaceSaver Sprints. Looks like Cruz Kepner now solidly in that 5th and final transfer spot. AJ Barton in 3rd, Hunter McFadden in 4th. What a strong run, though, by the 19 of DJ Tanner. We're in the white flag lap. Our leader on the backstretch, entering turn number 3. Strong run for the driver out of Thompsontown, picking up the victory, the 28 of Jason Roush over the 79 of Ian Cummins.
All right, we're going to start with our UMP Mod guys. And actually, we did have our top 5. 3 of them are here. As we mentioned, 2 of the drivers that didn't make it. The AW Spike Moore, he came away with 2 feature event victories in 2024. He finished 5th in the points, finishing 4th. The H2O, Rich Bookwalter, and unfortunately, I believe he wadded her up pretty good here at Hagerstown several weeks back. So unfortunately, Rich not able to make it. 3rd place in our points, and actually we get a chance to talk to him tonight because we did on a very, very late night at Hagerstown Speedway. It was a makeup night from a rain out a couple of weeks prior, and this gentleman picked up his first victory, so it's a double dip. He finished 3rd in the series points. Cody Oliver, give it up, 3rd place in our modified points. Cody, I know we messaged each other, and I apologize because I didn't get a chance to talk to you in victory lane, but congratulations on a good season here at Hagerstown Speedway.
I appreciate it. The track's been pretty fast all year. It's been really good. So they did a real good job this week on getting it turned around with all the rain and everything, so we appreciate them for doing that and having this big race for us.
Where do you start tonight, and what's your key?
I'm not even sure, honestly. I think I start like 8th or something. Just keep the nose clean and bring it home. So,
who would you like to thank for this season?
Freya Body Piercing and Fine Jewelry. They've been with us for a long time since we started our own program. So they've helped out a lot. Rick and Don have helped us out a ton this year. My buddy Jimmy J over there. Congratulations to him. My mom, my dad, Chad Kane, my fiance, my little sister, just everyone that helps out, you know. It takes a team and a family to do this, so, yeah.
Well, we thank you for being here. Glad you could get to victory lane one time, and glad you get a trophy out of Hagerstown Speedway as well. Good luck tonight.
Yep, thank you. I appreciate all the fans coming out as well. Thank you, guys.
All right, Cody Oliver, number 3 in our year-end points here at the Hagerstown Speedway, a man that goes back too many years that I don't even want to admit, you don't either. But Rick Colson, you've been around for a long time running stock cars and modifieds. Know you were a little under the weather earlier this year, but you're back. Ended up 2nd in the series points. Glad to see you number 1. Glad to have you here on the front straightaway getting a trophy.
Pleasure being here.
Tell me about your season. I know it's been a rough one, not the one you wanted 100%, no matter where you went, but number 1, glad to have you back here.
Yeah, it feels good to be back. I'm still not 100%, but feel better to get back behind the wheel.
Who would you like to thank for your season?
Thank my sponsor, Cool Weld, AMC Material Handling, Overflow Warehouse, CMI, Don Shipley, car owner, Mullins Race Engines, Elite Chassis, and everybody behind this stuff. I mean, we get a lot of help from Cody and the dad and all, and Jimmy. That's why we're 1, 2, 3. We always help each other.
Well, you got an off season to get yourself ready. Coming back for another year modified racing?
We're going to try.
All right, Rick Colson, been around for a while, and he's got some checkered flags to talk about our 2nd place finish here in our UMP Modified points. We got to talk to him tonight that he won the championship because he brought the car out. I know you've had some other issues. I know you were sick about that. You might not have been 100% happy the way it finished up, but you know what? Perseverance was your middle name. Jimmy Jesmer Jr., our champion this year. I know you're not here. I didn't think you were going to be. I knew you had a lot of things that you had to sort out with the car, but congratulations. You stuck through it, and you guys fought like dogs to get this trophy and be the #1 person in points this year.
Yeah, thank you very much. Coming here to Hagerstown, they always say if you can win at Hagerstown, you can win it anywhere. This place is really tough to get around. Unfortunately, I exhausted all my resources, and I would love to have been here tonight. I just don't think a Predator motor from Harbor Freight was going to get the job done. But the perseverance part of it, yeah, I knew going into this that you really have to have your ducks in a row to run for a championship. It literally took me from the time I first started running modifieds to decide this year that I wanted to run for a championship. I knew you had to have everything, at least 2 of everything, and apparently we needed 3 motors, but just very thankful that Hagerstown put this on for everybody. 2025, it doesn't look like I'm going to be fielding anything. I got some life stuff going on that it's going to keep me from going, but definitely going to be around here to help my friends out. I really enjoy coming to the races. It's something I've done all my life. I don't know how to do anything else, but as far as fielding my own equipment, it's going to be on the back burner for right now.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Obviously, personal things and family and everything else come #1. But we thank you. You come from a long lineage of racing. We saw your granddad, Freddie Crickbaum, here not too long ago. Jimmy Jesmer Sr., he's done a great job, and now another generation. So no matter how this season ended, I know there was a lot of things you had to overcome. Be proud of what you persevered through and what you accomplished. You did a hell of a job.
Thank you very much. I really want to thank everybody who's been behind me. Beavers Auto Body and Collision, they came on board this year, and when they announced that they were going to have a points deal, I said, well, you guys are 20 minutes from the track. You guys are going to get your bang for your buck. So if anybody has a wrecked vehicle, take it to Beavers. They'll get you figured out. I'd like to thank the Smith family for coming out. They let me help on their quarter midget, just scrape mud and just have a good time. Greg Cool Weld, Dan's Auto Repair, AMZ Material Handling, Spalding Performance. They gave me a set of shocks and some setup help, and it turned my program around. DSS Motorsports, they helped me out a lot as well. SNH Racing, Don, Rick, Cody, just everybody. I'm very thankful and very fortunate to be in this position.
Well, one of the many things I did like, because I'm a very emotional person in a good way, was the emotions I saw in victory lane for you. It was a hard-fought year, but to see the emotions, that was great. Jimmy, you are a champion at Hagerstown Speedway. Congratulations.
Thank you much.
All right, Jimmy Jesmer Jr., Rick Colson, Cody Oliver, our top 3 in UMP Modified points here at Hagerstown in 2024. Three very good guys in our sport, and very honored to have them racing here at Hagerstown Speedway. Guys, thank you so very much for putting on some good races for us here in 2024. And we also have our late model sportsman guys. Danny Atherton, do we have you here? Where's Danny at? Let's bring him up here. Driver of the number 19 machine out of Three Springs, Pennsylvania, came home 5th. Give it up, Danny Atherton in the 19 car. Danny, I know it's been a tough season, but I tell you, when you come here, I know you run here, you run at Port Royal. When you run at those 2 racetracks, you're running against some of the very best in the business. So you have learned a lot this year, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's been a tough season. That's what I was telling them guys. I said, what do they want me to do? Go up here and talk about the horrible year I've had? But I don't know. It's a tough sport that we do, and you just got to suck it up and keep trying to get better. That's all you can do.
Well, we appreciate you coming, because every time I see cars unload, it's always, all the plain packages here, and it's like, who's in what? Because I haven't identified, only a few of them, who's in what vehicle or what trailer, but I see that 19 pulling out, and that puts a smile on my face. It's always good to have you here. Who would you like to thank for this year's successes?
I got to thank my stepdad, Russell Brantner. He builds the engine for in my car, builds multiple engines. My brother Corey, he helps me out a lot. He comes with me every week. He helps me with the car. Book construction, tongue covert logging, CB Electric, Long's Tires. Those guys have been with me ever since I got back into racing in 2017. So Matt and Jeff Parks, they help me out a lot. Dylan Stake. But
What's next year looking like for you?
probably the same deal. I think we're gonna. This will be the last race probably around here. I think we're gonna go to Eldora. Something to do, you know, and that'll be the end of it. And then next year will just be the same thing.
Well, Danny, thanks for being here this year. We really appreciate it. And great job this season for that top 5. This is a tough class to win in, and it's a tough class to finish top 5 in points in, and you did it.
All right, thank you.
All right, Danny Atherton, number 5 in our late model sportsman points this year. Kyle Lear, one of our two-time winners. He came home 4th in our late model sportsman points. Do we have Wesley here? There's Mr. Bonebreak. He's standing over here. I'm looking at those two guys over there. I tell you what, Wesley Bonebreak out of Hagerstown, so close, so many daggone times. That was a great points battle between you, Sean, and Ryan all season long. Talk about your season.
Yeah, congratulations to Sean. They kind of set the bar at the beginning of the year, and Zook and I got close, but he closed the deal, so, you know, congratulations to them.
I know, and people have probably said it. You always had big shoes to fill because Danny Bonebreak was part of the big 4 or 5 of late model racing here at Hagerstown Speedway. What's it been like to have him leaning on you? As I'm sure there's been some great times, and I'm sure there's been some not so great times. But what's it been like to have a tutor like Danny?
No, if it wouldn't be for him and my mom, they, you know, helped me out this winter, and we got this new car. You know, we've had our ups and downs. We've been really good, and tonight we've been really bad. So, but it's not from lack of effort. Daryl Grove, Todd Brennan, Jordan Ellis, Kurt Hoffman, I know Emily Page. There's Ryan. I mean, everybody comes out. You know, they give 100%, and you know, if we could get down for the way things went. Last couple of weeks we've run good until tonight, so it's kind of frustrating to come back here. I want to win so bad here, and we've gotten so close the last couple of years. So hopefully next year, you know, we can. Where I'm starting tonight, if I'd win, I think I'd put like 30,000 to 1 odds, but but next year hopefully we can get the job done.
Well, a beautiful car. You guys keep it just pristine looking, and you're a clean driver out there. It's an honor to call your name every time because we're continuing the Bonebreak tradition. You created your own tradition here at Hagerstown. Great job this year.
All right, thank you, and thank the Speedway for, you know, what they do. It's not every night's a good night. I'm sure profit-wise, they're feeling it like any other business.
Absolutely, but we thank you for your participation and the people that you bring, because that Bonebreak team does bring people. Wes Bonebreak, number 3 in our late model sportsman points this year. All right, the gentleman that was a little bit closer to Sean Shoemaker, chasing him in the battle for the championship. He came home 4 points shy. But I tell you, he had a hell of a year because I believe you might have been the point leader at 3 different racetracks earlier this year. Ryan Zook traveled everywhere, and Ryan had him a hell of a season, finishing 4 back. Tonight, you also had a big deal. I know that $1,000 may have eluded you, unless you're starting 8th. Does that qualify if you start 8th? You're not going to start 8th, are you?
There ain't no way in hell. I'll put that thing back in the trailer.
Ryan, what a great season. Now, like I mentioned, I looked at points earlier this season. You may not have scored a victory here at Hagerstown Speedway, but you 3 guys were like within shouting distance of each other every week. It was fun to build that story and talk about it. Tell us about your season.
Yeah, I mean, you know, especially down here, this to me is by far the best surface we have, you know, around home for us to race on. We love coming down here. It's, you know, I want to win here so bad. I mean, it hurts, but we just fell victim to the system this year. You know, we were a little slow there in the beginning of the year, and by the time we got our speed up, we were just stuck starting in the back all the time. But no, we're quick. You know, we're hoping to capitalize tonight. Just missed it a little bit there, but I don't know. We'll see what we have here for Barry. He's in another zip code right now, so we'll see.
All right, Ryan, thank you so much for being here this year. Could be the night, you never know. That one of those top 3 in the points, and it could be yours. But a great season nonetheless. Congratulations. Who would you like to thank?
Yes, sir. First I got to thank, you know, the guys and everybody behind me. Dad, Dusty, Bill, Corey, Pap, my mom and Mark, my fiance. She puts up with it all summer long. I know it's about over. She's probably pretty glad. But I got German Truck Line, German Truck Repair, Dryden, JZ Enterprise, Adair Trucking, Terror Farm in Newport, Zook's Tax Service. I know there's a handful I'm probably missing. Penske by JDS, he has the fastest, most badass shock package you can get, so hats off to him. He really turned our game around, so I can't thank him enough.
Well, again, it was a pleasure, just like watching Wes and you and then Sean. You guys you made it a great story for me and all the fans all year long who was going to win that title coming down to the wire. I know it didn't end the way you wanted to, but thank you for a great season for us here at Hagerstown Speedway.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Ryan Zook, number 2 in our late model sportsman points in that 28Z machine. And then there was one, and that is your champion, the gentleman in the 44, my favorite racing number because I knew who my favorite driver was years ago. His name was Will Dilks. Many of the younger generation probably doesn't know that name. Sean Shoemaker, your champion this year. Give it up for our late model sportsman champ, Sean Shoemaker. All right, you guys don't have rear view mirrors in those cars, do you? Or do you have somebody that's giving you an idea of the distance that you have or gap over somebody? You have anybody like that on the track in the infield?
No, it distracts me too much. I don't even pay attention, so.
How hard was it or how easy was it to stay focused knowing this was the tightest points battle of all of our classes? You knew Ryan was a very accomplished and very good racer as well as Wesley. You knew you guys had something coming right down to the wire in the most competitive late model sportsman field around. How hard was it to maintain focus, or were you able to do that?
It was a little nerve-wracking the last race especially. We took off good in the feature, and then Ryan got by me, and then I just went to total crap after that. But I think it might have just been nerves, I don't know, but it was a lot closer than what I wanted it, I can tell you that.
You, like Ryan, like Danny, you travel around a little bit. You run at Port Royals, the BAPSs, or other racetracks, and you've done very well. How would you assess your season this year, other than the championship here at Hagerstown?
Oh, it was okay. We didn't get as many wins as we liked. We had 2. We did get the championship at Bedford too, so that was pretty cool to get here in Bedford in one season.
Who would you like to thank?
My brother. We do this together, so half this stuff's his, and he gets to work on it. So I got to thank him. Gary, Will, they pretty much come with us every week. My buddy Derek also. Our wives, I always get yelled at because I don't get to thank them. But I got to thank my brother's wife and my wife and the kids. We both have kids, so this takes a lot away from them. So I thank them for that. I guess all the sponsors would be Hoover Logging, Sheffield Auto Sales, RS Bowser Plumbing, Zim Technology, HFC Motorsports, Tommy Barron, he does our motors and stuff. I think that's it. I'm not sure.
Anything left for this season for you?
We're probably finish Bedford's last 2 races. That'll be about it.
Hey, when you look back on this season, when everything's all said and done, you're sitting there in the garage one Sunday morning, you're going to finally sit back, it's going to soak in. You got 2 championships here and 2 very tough racetracks.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's this division, it's tough. There's a lot of good drivers, and I feel like a lot of these guys can move up into super late models and be competitive. It just comes down to money, really. I'm real happy with the year we have, and I'm thankful.
Well, Sean, thank you so much on behalf of everybody here at Hagerstown Speedway. Thank you for making my job fun between you, Ryan, and Wesley. Great job this year. You are the 2024 Late Model Sportsman Champion. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Sean Shoemaker, our Late Model Sportsman Champ here at the Hagerstown Speedway. If we can get our drivers up here, and we'll get a quick photo. And while we're waiting on that, we're going to go ahead and call the 50-50 out. Linda did pull the bucket out tonight. $118 is going to be going to the winner. And the winner is Walter Nichols. He doesn't even have a ticket. Good job, Walter. All right, 969-150. 969-150. If you have that ticket, head to the track office right behind our grandstands and go ahead and pick up your 118 bucks.
25 laps is the distance to get the final winner on the point season for the IMCA RaceSaver Sprints. Johnny Scarborough, Timmy Bittner, we're green off of turn number 4. Johnny Scarborough getting a good jump on the field. 0-1 at Timmy Bittner to the outside. He takes the lead off of turn number 2. 20 of Doug Dotson falls in line in third, followed by the 22 of Mike Kohler. Drivers 3 wide at some parts of the track. 0-1 at Timmy Bittner, looking for his second win on the season. Also looking for his first Pennsylvania Sprint Series win, as his other came from neighboring division. Keep your eyes on the back half of the field. They're 3 wide coming off of turn number 4. 0-1 at Timmy Bittner leads Johnny Scarborough, Doug Dodson down the backstretch. Mike Kohler about half straight away behind, followed by the 461 of Colton Hendershot. Here comes a 3D of Dave Grube. He started in that 12th position. He's already battling for 5th. Actually, he took that spot away. Give that 5th spot to Dave Grube. Dave Grube in car number 3D on the move. A former winner here at the Speedway from 12th up to 5th. Going through turns 3 and 4, Dodson in car number 20 tries the top side, seeing if he can find anything there. Let's see if he does it in turns 1 and 2. Not yet, but the 0-1 at Timmy Bittner within striking distance of the 61 of Scarborough. 3D of Dave Grube looks underneath the 22 of Mike Kohler down the backstretch. Move Grube into 4th from his 12th starting spot. Meanwhile, 75 of Dylan Schatzer and the 25 of Dustin Young battling now in turns 1 and 2. Doug Dodson tried to set up a pass for the 61 of Scarborough. Couldn't make it happen that time by. This time Dodson goes to the outside, and he will get that spot on the outside. Dodson into 2nd on the back front stretch. Dodson's going to try it again on the outside of the 0-1 at Timmy Bittner. See if he can pull up alongside. Can't make it happen this time. Has to check up. Battle for the lead going into turn number 3. Dodson again to the outside, sets up the 0-1. It looks like the 20 of Doug Dodson to the lead here at lap number 6. Dodson now leads over the 0-1 at Timmy Bittner, followed by the 61 of Johnny Scarborough. Keep your eyes on the 3D of Dave Grube. He's found something up top. Meanwhile, behind him in 5th, the 22 of Mike Kohler. '61 of Scarborough applying heavy pressure to second place driver Timmy Bittner. Scarborough looks to the inside through turns 3 and 4. Meanwhile, your leader Doug Dodson coming up to lap traffic here in turns 1 and 2, double wide in the form of AJ Barton and the 21M of Hunter McFadden. Your leader Dodson on the backstretch now, gonna put the 99 of AJ Barton a lap down. That puts a lap car between him and 2nd and 3rd. Looks like AJ Barton goes pit side off of turn number 4. Dodson now tries to go underneath the 21M of Hunter McFadden. 2 wide lap traffic, and looks like the 2 of Aaron Statler going pit side on the backstretch. 0-1 at Timmy Bittner, Johnny Scarborough battling it for 2nd. Looks like Scarborough is going to take that spot away. Maybe not yet. Meanwhile, the 20 of Doug Dodson stuck behind a lap car. He's going to slide up in front of the 21 of Hunter McFadden. Lap car in between him and the 61 of Johnny Scarborough now as he's in the backstretch. We're at lap number 11 of 25. Cars very racy around the track. The 34 of Austin Reed underneath the 461. That is for 10th. Austin Reed into 10th. He started in the 19th position. Austin Reed on the move. He's here on the front stretch right now. That's the 34 of Austin Reed. Meanwhile, your leader going around the 14 of Colton Moyer, now the 28 of Jason Roush, putting those 2 cars a lap down. Doug Dodson in heavy lap traffic through turns 1 and 2. 61 of Johnny Scarborough trying to follow suit. Now just 1 car in between him and Dodson. Doug Dodson seeing 3 wide lap traffic ahead of him. 44 John Brame, Ray Thompson, 97 of Kenny Hefner. Dodson has to make some decisions here in the front. As he looks to the top side, it doesn't seem to be working as well off of turn number 2 for him as it does off of turn number 4. Dodson trying to get around lap traffic. Again, too wide ahead of him. We are under halfway, just 10 laps remain. Dodson in the extreme high stuff there. He's going to go around the R6 of Reed Thompson. That puts 2 lap cars between him and the 61 of Johnny Scarborough. 0-1 at Timmy Bittner battling with some lap traffic as well. Meanwhile, here comes a 3D of Dave Grube. Battle for third shaping up down the front stretch into turn number 1. Dave Grube trying to take that spot away from Timmy Bittner off at turn number 2. It's not going to happen. Your leader in turns 3 and 4 trying to chase down a lap car 44 of John Brame. Meanwhile, 16 laps down, 9 laps remain. Dodson looks underneath the 44 of John Brame in turns 1 and 2. There are now 1, 2, 3 cars between your leader and the 61 of Scarborough. Dodson putting the 44 of John Brame a lap down. Your leader off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. He's got lap traffic in the form of regular Pennsylvania Sprint Series competitors. The likes of Ken Duke Jr. ahead of him, who is the current points leader. The 19 of Cruz Kepner, who's sitting currently 3rd in the Pennsylvania Sprint Series points. Doug Dodson currently 4th in the PA Sprint Series points. He now has a couple more lap traffic ahead of him, but the 3D of Dave Grube putting the heavy pressure on Timmy Bittner in 2nd. Johnny Scarborough now in 4th. Dodson going through turns 1 and 2, just 5 laps to go as he leads over John Brame and the 3D, as he leads over Timmy Bittner and Dave Grube. Dave Grube now having just taken that spot away this lap. So Dave Grube now about a straightaway behind Dodson. There are some lap cars in between him and Dodson, but Dave Grube on the move from 12th up to 2nd. 10 cars for that 3D of Grube, a former winner here at the Speedway. He is quick. Dodson here going into turn number 1. Just 3 laps to go. Your leader coming off at turn number 4, 2 laps to go this time by. He's gone past the 97 to Kenny Hefner. That puts 2 lap cars in between him and the 3D of Dave Grube. Dave Grube turning the fastest laps on the Speedway with a 20.206 second lap. Just 1 more lap for the 20 of Doug Dodson. Doug and team having thrashed to put this car together between last night and this morning. So far, so good for the 20 team as he heads through turn number 3. He's looking for his first win of 2024. Coming to the checkered, picking up his 9th career win, the 20 of Doug Dodson. In 2nd, the 3D of Dave Grube. In 3rd, the 01 of Timmy Bittner. Finishing 4th, the 75 of Dylan Schatzer. And in 5th, the 22 of Mike Kohler. He was running 2nd and on the last lap tried to pass at Path Valley and ended up junking the car, but he finds himself in victory lane tonight, his first one of 2024. He's going up top. Your winner, the 20 of Doug Dodson. All right, so congratulations. Tough break last week, going for the win on the last lap, jumped it, worked hard all week to put this car together. I'd say it was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, even after the heat race, I was like, I'm glad we did this and came down here because it was just so much fun. And we've been really fast. I mean, it's been 2 years since I won a race. It's hard to believe, but we've been really fast. And either I do something stupid or luck just bites us or whatever. But it's been a lot of fun, but just haven't gotten any wins. So this is really, really rewarding, especially we have never been good in the feature here. So putting our heads together and coming up with a different package that really seems to work really helped.
You had the best of the best tonight. Virginia Sprint Series, Laurel Highland Sprint Series, Pennsylvania Sprint Series, Mid-Atlantic Sprint Series. 53 cars, you came out on top. Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, I mean, 53 cars and to be staying on the front stretch is like, it's the most rewarding accomplishment you can feel. And it was a pretty racy track too, so it's not like it was handed to me. So definitely got to thank Brian, Gary, my dad, my father-in-law George, obviously you, because the past couple nights have been really long nights getting this thing together. Really got this car off of Alex Petoskey, he used to race for us. I really appreciate him getting it torn apart so I could get the frame to be able to put it together. And then got to thank all my sponsors that stick with me. Power Mist Racing Fuels, Down East Granite, Crockett Log Homes, Ayers Body Shop, Jim's Racing Tires, Fastener Specialties, Newland Bar Service, and Adams Auto Sales.
All right, there you have it. The winner of the 20 of Doug Dodson.
All right, field stacked up 2 by 2, 24 strong. The finale, one of the toughest late model sportsman divisions in the region. Barry Miller, Ryan Zook up front, Frankie Gordon, Trent Brenneman in row 2, Jacob Piper, Sean Shoemaker, and the rest of the field. Zach Kaufman and Ken Gerald Davis pick up $1,000. We'll find out in 30 laps tonight here in the Clash by the Creek for late model sportsmen. Green is out, and Zook will try to grab that lead from the outside of row number 1. The entire 24-car field snakes their way off turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Barry Miller tucking into second. Brenneman fighting off Frankie Gordon right now. The battle for third. Gordon bobbles but gets that spot as Brenneman falls back into the number 4 position. Right now back in fifth, Sean Shoemaker. He's holding on. Gerald Davis has moved up a couple of notches in the order. He's 6th already. Brian Booz back in 7th. Piper dropping back into 8th. Tight battle for the lead. Miller right there. Zook's got it here on lap 2. Car length advantage for Ryan Zook. Finished 4 points shy of a championship this year. And 1 position shy of keeping his name in the books for $1,000 tonight in that dash. And now he's got Barry Miller, the dash winner, all over that rear deck lid coming off of turn number 4. It'll be Gordon in the 92, still holding on to the number 3 position. A very tight third. Trent Brenneman, the Port Royal champion, back and forth. Shoemaker, the Hagerstown champ, in 5th. Brian Booz in 6th. Challenge for 7th. Going to be Davis and Piper side by side with Ralph Morgan Jr. in the 44. And Justin Dillman. They're the early top 10 here at lap 3. Make it 4. Long way to go, 30 laps, the longest these guys have. Normally a 20-lap main event, but this is the biggie for the year for the late model sportsman division. And right now, Ryan Zook trying to check out early. Meanwhile, a little bit further back, Trent Brenneman back there in that number 4 spot. Myerd, he's got Gordon right in front of him. Shoemaker working top shelf, Booz down bottom. And that's the battle just outside in the back end of the top 5 and just beyond it. Piper and Davis, they're still side by side. 2 by 2 racing further on back from 3rd on back as Brenneman, Gordon, and Booz have a great battle. And that goes on for 3rd. Brenneman will win it off turn number 2. He'll be in the high line. Now it's going to be Booz down bottom to the inside of Gordon. That brings Shoemaker right up to the rear deck lid of the Gordon machine likewise. As Davis pulls a 28 car. Or make it Danny Atherton, the 19 in the pit area. Here on lap number 7. Number 5 man in late model sportsman points this year. As he heads off into the pits and Zook heads it back in turn number 3 and 4. And quickly 8 circuits on the board and Zook beginning to see the back end of the field. Eddie Cornett, one of the first drivers along with the 27 to Lee Ziegler towards the back end. But right now Ryan Zook taking his time. Barry Miller a car length over Brenneman. He's trying to gather himself back up at the 33. Started on the outside of row number 2. Looked like he was going to drop back a little bit. Now he's challenging for the number 2 spot to the outside. And Barry Miller back down in turn 1 and 2 as Zook begins to handle lap traffic. And Brenneman's got the outside line working. The 33 now moving up into second spot as Zook clears Cornette. Now works to the outside of the lap machine of Lee Ziegler. 10 laps, a third of the way into tonight's Clash by the Creek. Watching Brenneman trying to knife through some traffic. He's got Barry Miller all over him. They go to the inside of Cornette and Ziegler as Zook has checked out by a half a turn as we begin the second third of this race tonight. Brenneman now clearing around that lap traffic. Miller does likewise. Now Booz is on the inside of a 3-wide battle with those 2 lap machines. He'll clear them. Then it's going to be the 44 of Shoemaker right now in 5th. Frankie Gordon back in 6th. Gerald Davis holding on to 7th. Jacob Piper, Justin Dillman, and Ralph Morgan Jr. Right now they're the top 10 here at lap number 12. Thirteen about to go on the board. Zook working off turn number 4. Right now he's in clear space. Got around 3 lap machines. The 76 of Mason Strait has also gone a lap down as well as he works it back into 1 and 2. Trent Brenneman, though, he's been on the move. He's been knifing through the lap traffic. About 10 car length separation between those 2 drivers. 88 of Miller, he's also back there in 4th. Make it 3rd. Brian Booz in 4th. And Shoemaker buys lonesome in the number 5 spot. So in this second third, we're watching Brenneman come to life a little bit more as Zook begins to work the inside of the lap machine of Pat McNeil. And we close in on halfway in tonight's 30-lap late model sportsman event. Zook down bottom of another lap machine. Cross flags in the air. 15 in the books, 15 to go tonight in the late model sportsman main event. 27 of Ziegler. Lap machine pulls off into the infield area here at lap number 15. As the leaders head down the back straightaway. Once again for Zook, he's got some clear traffic, clear space, I should say, in front of him. As Trent Brenneman's got 1 lap car to deal with. 80 to Barry Miller, still in 3rd spot. He's got a few car lengths over the B2 of Brian Booz, but the top 5 made up by the 44 of Sean Shoemaker. He is a distant 5th right now. 6th on the board right now as they come back to the stripe. Still going to be Gerald Davis, followed by Frankie Gordon, Jacob Piper, Justin Dillman, and Ralph Morgan Jr. 2 seconds the interval, and we'll keep an eye on that as Zook, in about another lap or so, will begin to have to work on some lap traffic once again. One of those being the 37F of Wes Bonebreg, the driver that chased him and tried to battle for that number 2 spot. Gary Stuhler also back there as well as Zook works it back into 1 and 2. Half a second chopped off that time as Trent Brenneman's 33 continues to slice into that lead. And trouble for Brian Booz. He and Barry Miller. Looks like problems for both, or maybe it was just Miller. But caution is out at lap 18. All right, field stacked up 2 by 2. Zook and Brenneman. Brenneman was closing as we got the caution. Let's see what happens on the restart. Barry Miller is on the inside with the 92 of, or I should say the 44 of Sean Shoemaker now on the outside of row number 2 past the halfway point. Green back in the air as Zook leads him across the stripe. And Brenneman continues to work that top shelf move. It is working off turn number 2. Zook trying to grab something, but he can't. Brenneman, your new leader, down the back straightaway. Here as we work lap number 19. Zook isn't done. He's hugging the bottom side, but Brenneman's got the preferred line, and he'll take the lead here on lap number 19. Zook in second. The 88 of Barry Miller, the Dash winner. He's 3rd. 3 wide for the number 4 spot. Give it to Shoemaker. Here comes Piper. He's back to life. He'll make up the top 5 right now.
Yellow.
And caution
Stay low
again
on the front stretch.
on the
Stay
speedway.
low on the front stretch.
1 car right up against the wall here on the front straightaway as we up in the top 10, joined by the 5 of Brad Ops. In UMP Modifieds for your main event, you can make your way to the staging area. UMP Modifieds for your main event to the staging area, please. Field stacked up down in turn 3 and 4. 11 circuits to go here in tonight's late model sportsman event. And it's going to be Brenneman quickly disposing of Ryan Zook. Looked like he almost turned into him, speaking of Zook, as they hit the gas. And Brenneman again taking that popular line. By the time he gets to 1 and 2, he's in the groove he wants to be in and stretches out a 2-3 car length advantage over Zook. Miller and Shoemaker, they are single file. Then it's going to be the 44, making the 92 of Frankie Gordon, the 21 of Jacob Piper. They'll be side by side back there for the number 5 spot. 10 laps to go here in tonight's main event. And again, top 4 still secure. 2x2 racing. A lot of traffic going on in the back of that top 10. Piper and Gordon still side by side. Omps looking on. Then it's going to be Dillman, followed by the 99 of Cody Lear. He had cracked the top 10, went way high. He'll lose a few spots as the leaders come back for lap 21. Brenneman, 7, 8, 9 car lengths of a lead over Zook, comfortable over Miller. Same back to Shoemaker, who's got 5 better than Jacob Piper as they make it 8 laps to go this time by. Piper finally disposing of Frankie Gordon in that number 5 spot. Gordon is 6, Brad Alms back in 7. Matt Glendon in the 01. He's also made some good runs to the inside of row number 8. Starting back in 15th position, Glendon now cracks the top 10 as he works further up towards the front. 16D of Dillman in 9th, and the 28 of Gerald Davis rounding out the top 10. And trouble happening over in turn number 1 and 2. Looks like the 99 of Cody Lear has issues, and he begins to drift high in that 1-2 turn.
Stay low
Caution,
in 2.
back out.
Stay low in 2. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Stay low in 2.
Here in this class on track. Late model sportsman is just one of many very competitive classes. It is tough, and again this year, so many winners. Trevor Feathers, Kyle Lear, DJ Myers, Taylor Farling, Tyler Baer, Justin Weaver, Austin Warrenfeldt, and Frankie Gordon. Will it be Trent Brenneman, Ryan Zook, or another new face, Barry Miller? He was also a one-time winner 1 year ago. Green is back out with 6 laps to go. And again, Brenneman finds that groove he wants. He grabs that lead. Zook and Miller, single file. Piper again, a good restart. He battles with Shoemaker for the number 4 position, down at 3 and 4. As a Mercersburg, PA driver coming to light. Into 4th he goes. Caution again on the speedway. A couple of drivers make it 3, if not 4. They are scattered down there. 99 of Lear, looks like the 08 of Kaufman, the 76 is straight, and one other driver down to the inside guardrail on the entrance of turn number 3. So several drivers involved in this latest melee. And a tough break for the 5 of Brad Alms. He was also up in that top 10. The Winchester driver is headed off into the pit area. Brenneman, a one-time winner in Hagerstown in 2023, looking to become the 9th different driver to be in victory lane in late model sportsman competition this year. As he's at the point, Zook looking for his first of the year. Miller likewise, same for Shoemaker, same for Piper. Odds of another winner, very good with 5 laps left to go tonight. Brenneman tears off into turn number 1 and 2 and builds that lead quick. He is up to speed very fast. Opens up about a 7-8 car length advantage down into turn number 3 and 4. Lap 26 on the board. Zook comfortably in 2nd. Likewise for Barry Miller in 3rd. Sean Shoemaker in 4th position. Jacob Piper back in 5th, and now trouble hitting Frankie Gordon. He climbed the banking, just couldn't get that car to turn. And as a result, 7th to almost a back into the field for the 92 as Brenneman brings them back for 3 laps to go in tonight's late model sportsman main event. Single file pretty much. The top 8 positions, a 3-wide battle further back in 9th. That's where you find Palmer, Gerald Davis, and Frankie Gordon still trying to gather himself back up. 2 to go this time by. Just a few car lengths separation between the top 2 drivers. It's still Brenneman running that good line and having it his own way right now in turn 3 and 4. He'll look at the white flag this time off of that 4th corner. Zook trying in vain to catch him. Story of Ryan Zook's here at Hagerstown Speedway. Just missed out on the championship. Just missed out on being the winner of the Dash, and right now in the feature event, he's right there in the bridesmaid role, but having a hell of a year at many different speedways this season. But tonight, the Port Royal champion comes into town, and Trent Brenneman takes the Clash by the Creek for late model sportsmen at Hagerstown. Going to be Ryan Zook coming up in 2nd, Barry Miller in 3rd, Sean Shoemaker, and Jacob Piper. They will be your top 5. DJ Myers found their way into victory lane twice. This gentleman, once last year, he comes back to victory lane. Give it up for Trent Brenneman, your Crash by the Creek champion for 2024. Started on the outside in that 2nd row, and some tough competitors, Barry Miller, Ryan Zook, and Frankie Gordon had to deal with right off the bat, but proved himself worthy. And it doesn't have to be here long. When you come here to Hagerstown, you haven't been here all season long, and you fight hard like this and come into victory lane. That says a lot about that 33 team. As Trent scores the win, we'll get a few words with him as our UMP mods get geared up and ready to go. Well, I know it's been a busy year for you. Congratulations, number 1, on the Port Royal Championship.
Yeah, thank you.
And congratulations, that was a hell of an effort tonight.
Yeah. Warm-ups, I'll be honest, I came here with a race car that was really free, and I was scrambling all night long, chasing my tail, and we went out for that dash, and I felt good. I just had no speed, being a half a second off. I was really scratching my head, and I thought, well, I'm hoping, just to kind of do my own thing, don't let it get in my head, and hopefully just get the momentum built up here and the place would slick off into a beautiful track with all the rain this week. And, you could run all over it. And I know that one start I was on the outside, Ryan and I got together there a little bit, and I don't think he was impressed because he didn't give me any slack the rest of the night. But yeah, I got to thank, my crew like all year. We've had, such a great year. We actually, just come down to shake some things down. We're heading to Eldora here in about 3 weeks to try that. And I just, want to thank my guys. I want to thank definitely my family, my wife Shelly, daughter Gracie. We got a little boy on the way we found out this week. And so we're really excited about that. And I got to thank my guys, Shane Stewie, Dad, everybody that helps out. Sponsors, Jeff Byers, Race Engines, Mifflin Hill Beverage, River Valley Builders, Stoudinger Brothers Excavating, Diversified Investment Solutions, Snyder's Radiator Repair. There's just so many people. Integra Shocks. So many people. That I say it every time. That you can't stand up here alone. I just get to drive it, and these guys work their tails off no matter if we win, lose, draw. They're happy to be here, and I appreciate it.
You run at least 2 of the toughest racetracks, class-wise. Port Royal is very tough in the limited late models. You run against a lot of these guys, the Shoemakers, the Zooks, the Athertons, and Devin Harts, obviously, that are very tough to beat. You're the 9th different guy. You know how tough it is here at Hagerstown. You pulled off one last year, but to come in, that's very impressive. At the very end of the year, we missed you this year, I know, but to come in here and do that says a lot about the people that you just mentioned.
Right, and the cars are so close anymore, and the format means a lot to me, to make a travel down, and this isn't the only place that does the handicap. I don't know what the answer is to some of this stuff, but it's just tough to start so far back and make your way up through. So if somebody gives, I want to thank you guys for putting up more money, and though we didn't get it, I want to thank Gilbert you know, I don't know him real well, but he seems like a great guy, you know, and I appreciate everything he does for racing. I know him and Gary go together, and I get along with Gary, but yeah, it's just when somebody puts money up and makes a time trial show. Devin's the same way. He wasn't able to be here tonight due to a wedding, and I know he wanted to be. He was chomping at the bit and texting me all night. And you know, if somebody puts up money in a time trial show, we try to support it, and he's the same way. And just the cars are so tough, you know, you got to start good, and you got to have a good and everybody's got good equipment, and everybody's a good driver.
Well, it's always fun to see you here. We thank you for making a stop at Hagerstown and checking into Victory Lane. You're a great guy. Wish you the best outdoor. You know that one's going to be a toughie, but way to go. Get that clash tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Hagerstown. I wish I could be here more, and we're looking forward to outdoor.
All right, give it up for Trent Brenneman, your Clash by the Creek champion here at Lake Model Sportsman tonight here at Hagerstown. Great job, 9th different winner as we get set for the UMP Modified show. All right, field stacked up, 2x2 Cable and the 35M. Carter Miller up on the front row. Troutman out to belly in row 2. 25 laps coming up for the UMP Mods. And trouble over in turn 1 and 2. A couple of drivers getting tangled up. One of the 58 machines and also the 55, Alyssa Rao. All right, green flag back out, and looks like Cable and Miller want to have a good side-by-side battle for the lead. Nobody wants to give yet. Miller trying to surge on the outside. Cable hugging that bottom guardrail off at turn 3 and 4, and it survived up front. Troutman and out to belly. DeBella and Rao, and then the 35 is Stremme. Still 25 laps here in tonight's modified main as Holson gets the hook and off into the pits he goes, and we get set to go back to green.
Is the leader. 90 will start the race. 35M. Jump again. I'm going to put you back to road.
Hell, not a good
We're going to try it
start,
again.
and
90
we'll line it back up
start
again.
the race.
Better start this time as you work it off at turn 4. And it'll be Cable and Miller side by side back in turn number 1 and 2. Lap number 1 about to go in the books this time by. Will be Miller in that 35, grabbing that early lead. Cable down bottom, going to be Altobelli, the most recent winner back there in the 3rd spot. Followed by the 7 of Drake Troutman. Cable looking to the inside, and he continues to work that low line off turn number 3 and 4. 2 laps completed, the 25 that make up tonight's UMP Modified Clash by the Creek. So single file that time by. Going to be Altobelli right there in striking distance back there in 3rd. Troutman about 5 car lengths back and forth. Cable with a good surge down the backstretch. Trying to see if he can work some magic down to the bottom side. Miller bobbles a little bit in turn 3 and 4. The door is open. They are side by side. Back to the stripe. The edge to Miller. Cable continuing to chip away down bottom. And that Keeps Altobelli right there in the shadows. Troutman back there in fourth, about 10 car lengths back. And Cable, inch by inch, continues to try and work his way up towards the number 1 spot. Back the line, lap number 4 on the board. Still Carter Miller in front. And Altobelli right there likewise. Cable gets a good run on the bottom side off of turn number 2, and that will put him up in the number 1 spot. Miller continuing to work that high line. Altobelli trying to figure out who does he want to follow in this ordeal. He'll swing it wide and be right behind the Miller machine. Give Cable credit for that lap. 5 of the 25 in the books this time by. Troutman still back there in 4th position. Top 5 made up by the 55. Alyssa Brown. And then Aiden Oakley back there in 6th. Remy in 7th. DeBella holding on to the number 8 spot. Leaders come back for lap 6. Cable's low line working very well. He worked enough to get him the lead, and now he opens up a good 5 car lengths over Miller. Altobelli still a couple of car lengths back in 3rd spot. Top 3 stay very tight as they come back for that 7th circuit. And David Stremme making his way off into the pit area here at lap number 7. Leaders come off the corner and put lap 8 on the board. Cable continuing to stretch the lead out. Meantime, going to be Miller on the defense. He's trying to hold on to 2nd spot. And Altobelli sneaks underneath the bottom side. He watched what Cable did. He makes the bottom side work for him off turn number 2. And is a new runner-up as they come back for lap 9. Caution back out with 10 laps of our 25 complete tonight. Back to green as we get set for lap number 10 of tonight's main event for the Modifieds. Altobelli sticking with Cable. Those two edge away just a little bit. 10 in the books, 15 still to go in tonight's $2,500 win event for the Clash by the Creek. 35 of Carter Miller still back in 3rd spot. Drake Troutman holding on to 4th. And the 55, Alyssa Brown, they are the top 5. Aiden Oakley and Frank DeBello still out there, top 7 as they come back for lap 11, closing in on halfway. Well, no breathing room for Cable. Actually, the last time that the Modifieds were here, unfortunately, a tough break between Cable and Spike Moore battling for the lead on the front straightaway. Altobelli was back there in 3rd position. And now finds himself back in very familiar territory once again. 6 different drivers in victory lane in modified competition this year. The 90 Ray Cable, the latest one. And Troutman going up in smoke down in turn 1 and 2. Tough break for the Hinman, Pennsylvania drivers. We get set for halfway on the board this time by. It'll be 13 in the books in tonight's 25-lap event. Troutman takes the hard left-hand turn into the pits. Cable takes the halfway sign. 3 car lengths better than Altobelli. Then Miller back there in the 3rd spot. Alyssa Rao He involved in an early race incident. She's up to 4th. And Aiden Oakley rounding out the top 5. Well, 10 circuits to go. 15 are in the books as Cable and Altobelli making a 2-man show. Still about a 5-6 car length advantage for the Sykesville, Maryland driver. Started up front, but has had to earn it. Had to work his way back around Miller, who got the initial lead from the outside of row number 1. And little by little, Cable chipped away on that bottom side. And then after that, Altobelli came to life. He was all there when they had the battle between Cable and Miller, and hasn't been able to swat that fly away as Altobelli continues to be right there, only a few car lengths back. Leaders coming back for lap number 17, 8 circuits to go. Well, working the lap car, Frank DeBello looked like Altobelli a little out of shape, got sideways, trying to figure out how to get him. But didn't really lose any ground. As a matter of fact, he's still right there, only about 3 or 4 car lengths on Cable. 19 will be on the board when they come back to the stripe. And Cable doesn't have it locked up. Altobelli's looking for something up top, and he's got it working. Got that left front wheel off the ground when he comes off the corners, and he has got a lot of momentum built up. And he is looking to see if he can power around, and he may do it. He's got a lap or so, possibly, that may happen. Cable's still trying to dig down bottom. But that lead has shrunk down to a car length with 5 laps to go this time by. Well, he tried it again. This time bobbles, but still doesn't lose anything to Cable as they come down the straightaway. Car length separation. And if he's going to have to win it, speaking of Altobelli, it's going to have to be the hard way around on that outside. Cable's not going to give up that low line as he'll come back for lap number 21 in a moment. Leaders back in 1 and 2, still a couple of car length separation. That time Altobelli went down bottom side. And still only a couple of car lengths at best separation between those two. Lap number 22 about to be scored. Here goes Altobelli back top shelf again. Cable swings it wide, tries to shut that momentum off. And a car length separation when the leaders come back to the stripe. So probing right and left is Mike Altobelli trying to see if he can be a second 2-time winner this year. Joining Spike Moore, Cable looking to become the latest winner in UMP Mod action. He is 2 laps away from that as the 90 brings it back to the stripe. Well, either our 7th different modified winner will be found this year, or Mike Altobelli will join Spike Moore in the 2-win club as they're a lap and a half away from figuring it out. Lap machine of Aiden Oakley just in front, that 58W. He's up in the high group, Cable running down low. Altobelli swinging it wide, right front or left front, right up off the ground. And right on that rear bumper, white flag in the air this time by. Cable hugging the guardrail down bottom. Altobelli 2 car lengths back. They shoot down the back straightaway for the final time, and that lap machine of Oakley dead ahead. As the leaders make their way into 3 and 4, he'll give them plenty of racing room. Speaking of Oakley, and Altobelli went down to the bottom side. Drag race is on. Back to the stripe. It almost paid off, but Ray Cable coming away with a UMP modified win. 58 of Mike Altobelli. Good effort as he comes home in second to 35M. Carter Miller winds up in third of the 2024 season. Speaking of which, that is the final checkered flag of this year. We thank you very much for being a part of our program here this year at Hagerstown Speedway. Thank you for your loyalty. We certainly hope to see you back here in 2025, but we wish everybody the very happiest of the holiday seasons. Hoping they're safe and hope you have great times with your family and friends. And once again, we certainly thank you so very much for everything. Please enjoy the rest of your racing weekend, and please drive carefully on your way home. on that car as well, as Rick Cable comes away with your UMP Modified win tonight here at the capital of dirt track racing. Ray, I think everybody's going to say the same thing. Long overdue. I know a couple of weekends ago, and don't want to bring up bad history, that was a tough one. I know it was a very tough one, but you dug in, you came right back, and you did a hell of a job, and you put that 90 back in victory lane where it belonged.
Yeah, definitely. This is really a feel-good win for us. I mean, we've been chasing a win here for years. I've been second, I don't know how many times. I grew up racing over there. Got a lot of family history here, so I'm finally able to come home with the checkered flag. It feels great.
You love that low line here at this speedway. I know you were chipping away on Carter Miller. It took several laps, but you never gave up. And then towards the very end, what a battle with Altobelli.
Yeah, Mike's always there. He's a hard racer to beat, but I'm glad we were able to get one. And the low line, I just always seem to run well here on it. And finally, it paid off for us.
You know, and I got to get back to the history books because I got some age on me, and I'm going to tell about myself. I do remember back in the days when Ray Cable Jr. and Butch Cable were running down at Potomac Speedway in some Mustangs. This iconic number 90's been around for a long time, and it reminds me of my conversation with Wes Bonebreak earlier. What kind of influence has the Cable family been on you and having those folks that have raced and been so successful in cars? What of impact has that been for you?
It's been the biggest help to my racing career. I feel like I was kind of born into it. Everybody in my family's done it. They have a lot of knowledge, and really, I owe it all to them for getting me here today. So I can't thank them enough, and I'm really blessed to be part of the Cable family.
You have done a lot of modified racing all over. How would you assess your season, how things have been for you this year?
I think we've had some bad luck, some good luck. Standing here in victory lane makes it all worth it. Like I said, we've been chasing a win here so bad. I think overall we'd have a decent year, but we'll be back next year.
What do you have left on your calendar for 24?
I think we only have 2 races left. I got to go over it with some people. I got to talk about it. So hopefully we'll get to at least 2 more here, and then our season will be wrapped up.
Who would you like to thank, Ray?
I'd like to thank Alan Judy Performance, Adventure Technology Services, RBS Truck Collision, Glenn Elliott, my dad, my mom, my girlfriend, Tony, John, everybody that's got a hand on this car, Miles Body Shop, and the Cheeseburger Lady. I'd love to thank the Cheeseburger Lady. So, without any of them, I wouldn't be here in victory lane.
Well, I appreciate your class act because I knew when I was thinking about it, saying, do I want to bring up the previous race? I knew that was yours. I really think it was yours. There should be 2 stickers on the car. That's my personal opinion. But you know what? I appreciate the way you handled it. You fought back on the track, and you were a class act here in victory lane. You got that victory. It paid off. Perseverance does.
It definitely feels good. We'll be celebrating tonight, but we're back at it tomorrow.
I know. Ray, congratulations. Thanks for being here at Hagerstown this year.
Thank you.
All right, Ray Cable, that iconic number 90 in victory lane here at Hagerstown Speedway and the UMP Modifieds.